Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel, Andre here of cinemoth.com. Thanks for tuning in, and first of all, Merry Christmas to you all and your families. I hope you enjoyed the holidays so far with your loved ones, got some nice Christmas dinner, hopefully you got some surprise gifts for your collection. And actually, Prime 1 did kind of surprise gift for me. I never expected to get this bad boy before Christmas. This is the Jungle Hunter Predator 1/3 scale in its DX version. As you can see, you got some additional head sculpts over there, and it arrived on the 22nd of December. What a perfect moment before Christmas. I was so blown away when UPS turned up with this massive box. Actually got one of the boxes first on the 22nd. It was kind of split shipping, and then the day after the other two boxes arrived. First I got the head sculpts, and to be honest guys, Prime 1 really delivered. I really feel the price point is justified, especially just looking at the base price of the statue, which was around 3k I think. It's so much better than big game 1/4 Predator, especially the paint application. And I first got the head sculpts, and this was my immediate first reaction when I saw the head sculpts. It was just really a different, unique, in its own league kind of. And then by adding the base and the actual statue itself, it made for an epic, full monumental, really museum line statue, to be honest. And looking in the room right now, this is by far the biggest statue I have, and I have no free spot. Let's get through some basics first. I will give you of course some detail shots later on and then a proper conclusion, but let's go first for the basics. So in terms of the sizing, so the Predator is 93 centimeters from the bottom of the base to the top. The base itself is 7.5 centimeters. The width is 76 centimeters, and the depth, which you can look at right now, is 66. Especially depth you need to calculate. I have no proper pedestal or cabinet where I can actually put this place without having it somehow overlapping, and I'm kind of afraid on the review turntable situation right now. The pedestal down below is probably undersized, and then we have the automatic rotatable turntable. So let's see what I can find in a proper setup. Even that pedestal over there is just too small, to be honest. And then the room size or room height is not even 2.10 meters, so I probably need to invest in something new. Then of course you get kind of a manual. It's actually not that complex. I thought the big game Predator is more complex. You've got a nice layout of all the pieces that you receive. Also the plans are not that difficult to place, to be honest. So before we go into the detail shots, two topics I want to quickly discuss in this full view. First, the leaning issue. There was some debate if the statue was actually leaning. I don't think so, especially from that angle here. I don't see no leaning situation at all, to be honest. It looks perfect. From the other side, there might be a tendency, really a small tendency. I don't see it, but maybe you see it. But again, I mean, the Predator is like pushing forward, so for me it's totally fine, to be honest. And the second topic I want to quickly highlight is how to put the feet onto the base. It's kind of a critical moment in the whole setup phase. Take your time. If you're two people, even better. First you need to put in the left foot. There's a huge metal rod on the base itself, really massive, and you need to push it down quite far that you're actually able to put in the right foot itself. And then you find this kind of golden angle, and then it will slot in quite easily. But during that procedure, especially I had to wiggle a bit, there was a crackling noise, and I think it came from the rod area down below. And I don't know what will happen. I already removed the statue like 2 or 3 times from the base because I had to move it around, especially always dismantle everything when you move the base. The whole thing is about 40 kilograms, so you have no chance to just get the whole statue and move it to another spot. Just always get rid of the torso, rid of the head sculpt. You can even dismantle the med kit It's with magnets to kind of have the final battle situation, and just take your time when actually setting up the whole Predator. Alright, then I would say let's go for the detail shots. I worked a bit with some cinematic pans. I will do probably some voiceover for these, and also review some of the different head sculpts, of course. And in the end we do a quick conclusion on this beautiful new latest Predator statue. Enjoy! Alright, let's get started first with the Biomask, as here you get actually two variants. This is now the so-called props variant, where you see it has less details but it's more movie accurate. For example, have a look at the blast marks here and here. These are painted and really replicate, let's say, the look that he had in the movies from the, let's say, suit. And as an add-on, and I'm not entirely sure if it's just for DX, but for both versions, I think it's for both, you also have, let's say, the detail mask. And what you see here is that all these blast marks, cracks are actually sculpted and not just painted. I think both of them look great. What you also can see is that there's a mesh within the visor, and it's kind of mirrored, which is really cool. I think it was a small upgrade for the fan base during the production process. There's the laser 3 dots LED. Within the Biomasks you have battery compartment. It's all magnetic, easy accessible, and there's a button actually behind there to deactivate that. Alright, shoulder cannon, nicely sculpted. It has a blue LED within. There's a button on the side to deactivate. The battery compartment is on the top. This is the regular one, which is in battle mode kind of. So let's take it out. The tube you can just remove. Here's the battery compartment. You need two LR44s for these. And I mean these because we have also a second one, which is a deactivated one for the DX version. So this is kind of the add-on for the DX version that you don't have in the regular one. Stick in the tube here as well. So that's kind of the deactivated look that you can go for. And as already said, you can remove the Medipack if you want. The Medipack is not to be open. There's the special bus coming out, which I think has an open mechanism for the Medikit, which is a bit of a cash grab, I would say, for Prime. I would really love that all these variants that you get from the mini busts, or let's say the 1/3 scale busts, you would also get with the deluxe version. But yeah, I mean, they really know how economics work. Personally, I don't have actually ordered one of the mini busts. I thought about having at least a closed mandibles one, but it's on waitlist now. Alright, going down, I really love the paint job on the armor. It has a bit of a green tint to it, but it really fits the jungle setting, I would say. And I would say it's even a lot better and more movie accurate than on the big game Predator. This kind of tubing is resin or plastic, so not metal. Really, I would say it's a bit delicate, could break easily. And then the wrist computer, so let's have a bit of a close-up on this one, because here they also did some major upgrades. Let's dim down the lights a bit. So that's pretty cool. And on the inside you have the Predator letters going. So on the battery situation for the wrist computer, in the manual it says 241s and 244s. In reality, the battery compartment is differently laid out, and you only need 44s, but you need 4 of them. So it's kind of interesting to see. Makes a lot more sense, to be honest. I don't know why they actually came up with the 41s for these compartment. Of course, there are like 2 light sources, one for the top and one for the inner side. But yeah, they give you actually a small kind of cloth to put in here, because they say it could kind of lead to scratching. It's also here mentioned on the manual. Personally, it's really a precaution somehow. I don't really see it that it could be scratchable, but yeah, anyway. But pretty nicely done. I think in the first pictures everything was red. Now they added different kind of translucent effects for blue and yellow. Then we continue with the bone parts. So the bone trough is actually really well done, if you ask me. Necklace, then quite extensive stuff for the bandoliers. They revamped all these skulls for the final production version, and I really like the spine trophy here, slinging around the whole body. Looks really, really good and feels right. Then let's have a look at the wrist plate. So you have actually 3 different lengths. It really reminds me about the Hot Toys Predators, where you had always these metal variants of the wrist plates. They're really spiky. So let's see. Here we go. Huge, spiky, full metal. Nicely done. You have also a smaller variant. And a fully retracted one, like this. And for the DX version you get these rather, let's say, crazy looking wrist plates. Let's try to put these on, pay attention to it. And it's only available in the DX version. Then for the DX version you get the spine of Billy, full gore, blood effects going on. Really creepy. Fits the mood, gives a bit of contrast, I would say. And really well done, sculpted and painted. It's crazy, also the muscle tissue is still visible there on the scalp. Alright, let's have a look at this magnificent base. First of all, look at this translucent water effect. With the pond in here, you have the small fishes going on. Let's zoom in a bit. This looks epic. Never seen a perfectly cast translucent area like this before. It was really a big surprise when I unboxed it. They even put a special kind of paper on top of it so that it probably kind of dried out a bit better during shipping. And in general I'm pretty happy with the woodwork. The rocks are nicely painted, a lot better than the Big Game Predator. The leaves are nice. The rocks are all shiny and really wet looking. That was bothering quite a lot on the Big Game Predator. It looks all just a bit too dimmed down and just not realistic enough. Then when we have a look here at the front, you see there's a skull at the bottom. This is Max, poor Max skull, and there's a blast marks. This could be painted a bit better. I think this is a bonus item if you order it with the Prime 1 online store. The scorpion you get in all versions. There's a small socket on the rock. Nice tiny little scorpion. And the other thing you get as a bonus item here on the left side, sorry, let's zoom in a bit, is the dog tag of Hopper in 1/3 scale. Continuing on the right side, here you have some additional leaves, some plants. You just basically put them into these holes. It's quite straightforward this time around. The trunk here looks quite good on the bottom side, I would say. Here at the top there is an area which I really don't like. This could be done a lot better, I would say. From far it's okay, but I think in general they're getting better and improving. And of course then you have the leaves behind the Predator, and there you see sneaking from behind the snake. That's actually sculpted quite well. Let's see if I get a picture of her. Yeah, and here we go on the back side. So there the snake continues kind of, as you can see here behind the leaves. And the last part of the tail, for whatever reason, is a separate piece. that you find also in a separate box. No idea why, but yeah. And look at the mighty Predator towering over the jungle setting. Looks freaking amazing. So for the DX version you also get the guard mask, which was kind of a behind the scenes mask. It was never, of course, in the movie. Also was part of the big game DX set, and they also gave it again for the Jungle Hunter 1/3 version. It's a cool add-on. Personally, I would have not required it. Maybe, to be honest, it could be one of these special busts as an add-on and not part of the DX. But anyway, I mean, of course, I'm happy to have it too. Nicely sculpted. It has, let's say, less purple, more of a green tint, because the big game one has kind of a purple hue to it. But overall, quite happy with it. Alright, let's go for the unmasked head sculpt. So this one is from the DX version, the special edition item. It's kind of a more, not a closed mandible version, because this one you get with the special bust as an add-on, which I hopefully get somehow down the road. I'm, let's say, not a big fan of this one. The roaring one looks a lot better if you ask me. Maybe I find the movie shot that they take from, but still the paint job is amazing, really well crafted and painted. You have perfect color application from reds, browns, black, whites, beige. Really like the eyes, and also the paint applications in the inner mouth area around the mandibles are nice. Mandibles themselves are looking translucent, have a really 3D effect, and overall pretty happy with that. The dreads, like let's say our glossy, have this rather flexible kind of materials you can actually bend. You could heat it up and bend it in place if you need to. And here we have the roaring sculpt. This is amazing. A lot better than the other one, if you ask me. Looks fierce, menacing. And look at all these tiny spikes. You actually get a bag with additional spikes, replacement spikes in the box. So if you ever lose them or get something damaged, you can actually glue them yourself on. Pretty Let's cool. Have some final close-up here on the unmasked portrait. Look, for example, at the vein work on the mouth. Really well done. And I think the eyes, I'm not fully into the subject matter, but there was kind of a discussion which is the right pair of eyes. There's some black ones, or these fierce red, purple, yellowish looking ones. I think either of these are fine, but I think it's really well executed. So here in direct comparison, on the left the regular one, roaring, and here the rather closing mandibles variant from the DX version. Definitely prefer the one on the left. And here you have also two movie plates, red logo and the steel logo. Actually, this is metal. Not sure which one is the DX item. Really no clue, but I think in the end all the hardcore fans anyway get the DX version. And before I forget, you have actually for each additional head sculpt you have one of these cool bases. You also already know this from the big game Predator, which is amazing. The only variant that you cannot display itself is one of the mask portraits, because the mask portrait is basically on one head sculpt and you just exchange the biomask. What else? You have additional hand sculpts. I think the DX version either has these additional or the fisted ones. Because of the fisted ones you have two of these, one for left, one for right. Probably these are the DX items. Probably I will just have Billy's skull, spine on the right hand, and on the left an open grabbing one. And not so sure if we really need all these variants for the hand sculpts. Oh, let's go rather towards the conclusion. We finished the unmasked portrait and add this kind of piece to the back side if you want to remove the medikit. Oh, it's so well painted. The skin paint application and the netting is amazing, guys. Alright, conclusion on the latest Predator 1 statue by Prime 1, the Jungle Hunter 1/3 scale. Guys, I feel a dream came true. They delivered. I cannot regret anything on this purchase. The shipping charges they could not really control. They actually valued the piece at $600 US, which means they kind of somehow appreciated the whole burden of added shipping charges, and it only led me to pay $100 US of taxes. Otherwise it would have been triple or 4 times as much if they would value it at the right price. So that's kind of okay. So I'm perfectly happy. The paint job only on the trunk I would say could be a bit better, but the statue itself is so realistically sculpted, painted. You have so many variants to this blade, and it's really a must-have, guys. So I can't wait until everyone has it at home. Please find the right spot to give it a proper stage and enjoy. See you soon, Happy New Year, and bye bye.